Hey class, this is Mrs. De Jesus, American Literature. This mini lesson is for assignment number one for Student Learning Day. Students who are on A Day, this is Tuesday. Students who are B Day, this is Monday. This is for August 24th and August 25th. Now, here's my mini lesson. Now, as you know, for Tuesdays and for your student centered days, you're going to focus on reading comprehension. It is critical that these 2 days we focus on reading skills, reading different genres. So now I'm going to go over your notes. These notes you have to use every time you're reading because this will be consistent throughout the year. Now, the first thing is making inferences. Now, inferences is something you're going to be doing throughout the year. You're going to also be writing in that format as well. So, inferencing is you are making a conclusion based on information not directly stated in the passage. Your background knowledge and information suggested in the text, in the words that you read, equals inferencing. Here's an example. The sun was shining, the birds were singing. He could see out the bus window that there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was going to be a beautiful day, a perfect day for biking, thought Eli, as his bus pulled into the school parking lot. Now, let's infer. Let's make an inference. Now, your background knowledge, because you're students, you know school buses pull into a school parking lot. Now, information from the text. His bus pulled into the school parking lot. That's what it says. Now, inferencing is what you know. Now, the inference is Eli is a student, okay? So you put what your background knowledge, what's in the text, and you know that he is a student. The only thing you don't know is he a high school student, a middle school student? You're not sure, or elementary, but you do know he's a student. So that's what inferencing is. Inferencing, remember, it's not in what you read, it's not facts. When you are inferencing, you are concluding information based on what's on the text and what you already know. Now, also, when you're reading, you're going to make generalizations. In 11th grade, is not going to be basic. You're not going to be doing basic generalizations. So let's look at what that means. You take specific information about something and apply it to all similar same things. Okay? Now, here's an example. John ate boiled broccoli. It tasted horrible. On another occasion, John ate roasted broccoli with cheese. It was delicious. Now, a good generalization is broccoli cooked in different ways can either be horrible or delicious. Now, a bad generalization is broccoli is horrible, period. Okay? So as you're reading, you may be reading different types of excerpts from different types of author. And if you don't like one, you shouldn't say, well, I'm never going to read this author again. So it's important to really look at specific information and compare it to similar things, okay? Not just make an overall generalization. Now, this is going to be critical. Figurative language, okay? Lots of poetry, lots of novels, and nonfiction work and fiction work. So, figurative language uses words to mean something else than the dictionary, the literal meaning. Now, poetry, and some of you do love music, and music is a form of poetry. It can be from country, rap, pop, whatever you listen to, even folk music. It all has a form of poetry, okay? And it has figurative language. An example of figurative language. The muscles in his arms look like bowling balls. Now, literal is he looks strong. Now, I prefer the figurative language because you can close your eyes and imagine exactly how he looks like. The literal format is pretty much boring. Now, figurative language again creates a special effect or feelings or makes a point. Now, I want you to really read this. Your metaphors is a comparison of two things. A simile, you're always using the word like or as. Personification, giving human qualities to an animal. Like, for example, when you guys read Grizzly Stand Upright, that was some type of personification imagery. It gives you the five senses. If you would close your eyes, you probably can. The writing is so detailed, you can probably smell it. If you visualize, you may be able to taste it or imagine seeing it. Okay, so that is very important imagery. Idioms, an expression that means something different from the individual words, like "Hey, go break a leg." The literal sense, you're not breaking a leg. It actually means good luck. You guys should know this already, but it's critical during your writing and when you're reading, you're going to see a lot of this. Okay. So, lastly, is your literary devices. Now, as a writer, and you're going to be reading quite a few different types of reading passages. Those are also writers, these are the authors. Now, literary devices is techniques that writers use to create a special and pointed effect in their writing to convey information or to help readers understand their writing on a deeper level. So, I want you to really get used to understanding what alliteration means. I gave you examples: allusion, anthomorphin, orphanism, assonance, flashback, and foreshadowing. Now we were able to really work with foreshadowing when we read The Earth on the Turtle's Back, because a foreshadowing was a hint of an event. Remember when the young girl fainted and the god came, he left her with two arrows. One was sharp and one was blunt. So that was foreshadowing, which is a hint of what could be coming up in the future. So she had twins. One twin represented the sharp arrow, and another represented the blunt arrow. So these are your notes, and what you're going to be doing today, you're going to be reading and doing reading comprehension, okay? And whenever in the future I ask you to come back to your reading detective skills, you need to put those notes somewhere for you can be able to always go back to this, okay? Have a great day.